I'm Karen from Perfect Day by Karen, and I'm just going to do a video about senses in your wedding day. So it might not be something that you've even considered, but your 5 senses are going to impact your wedding day to make sure it's one to be remembered. So those 5 senses are your taste, your sight, your sound, your smell, and your touch. All equally important as each other. Some are easier to execute than others, but those 5 key things are what's going to make your wedding stand out from others. So the taste. So obviously that's easy. That's your food. So you need to make sure you have food that people will enjoy, but also people will remember. So it could be something different. It doesn't have to be your kind of mainstream chicken, just because it's easy option. It could be something different that makes sure people remember it. The other thing is to obviously have different food carts maybe, or food trucks. Those are tastes that people will remember as well. Then you've got the sight. So it's the way it's going to look. How is your event space going to look that's going to wow people and going to stand out from others, and make sure it's one to be remembered. So that could be anything from large props that are obviously statement areas, so large seated areas, and maybe signature chairs for the bride and groom. It could be the table settings, the flowers. It could be massive flowers. It could be small centerpieces on the tables, but with something interesting in them. I've seen goldfish in them before, which is quite interesting. It could be anything that's just going to make people think, oh, that's pretty, or that stands out, or anything that's kind of memorable. Sound. So sound is one that's, again, easy. So it's the music that's being played. So something that people will remember, something that people will think of again. So whether that's something that's classical for the ceremony, but done in such a beautiful way that people remember it for the rest of time. It could be the band or the DJ in the evening, or you've got a sax and DJ combination. That's always quite nice and always quite memorable because it's quite different at the moment, but it's also very on trend. So it's different, but also everyone's kind of doing it. The other thing is other sounds, so whether there's music during the meal, just to kind of have some background noise there so that it's not pure silence and just chatting going on. It's just all those areas where music or noise comes into play that makes people remember your wedding day. The next one would be touch. So this one I always find is a little bit more difficult to do. So it's either the favour that you have, so there's something that people take away, so they've touched it and they're carrying it and they're taking it away, or it's something that can be incorporated into the table setting. So this is where last year velvet came in quite big, because you could feel the tablecloth and it was different, so people would remember it because it was different. Also you've got like, if you're having a rustic wedding, you've got kind of that sack material. I can't think of the technical term right now of what that is. So that's always quite a different feel as well, so it's quite rustic. You could have wooden tables rather than having tablecloths, which is obviously a different touch as well. It's just anything that's slightly different to the normal, kind of what you're expecting when you go for a wedding, so anything that feels slightly different, which is, like I said, you can either have it as a favour to take away or something incorporated into the table setting or at some point during your evening. And then the last one is the smell. So I've noticed this cropping up actually on Instagram quite a bit, that people have a perfume for their wedding day, and then they accidentally use it before the wedding day and have to get another one. But this is where you could either infuse something into the banqueting room itself, so whether you have a scent around the diffuser around the room, it could be from the flowers. I've been to a wedding before where there were so many flowers that it just smelt like roses in the room. It could also be from your perfume, so that you remember the day, so that every time you put that perfume back on, you smell it and you remember your wedding day. But it's just a smell that could kind of remind people that that smell was your wedding day. It could be also a candy floss machine, that sweet smell that people remember from a fun fair, they could also remember from your wedding day, or a barbecue, or a hog roast, all those kind of smells that next time someone has it, next time someone smells it, they think of you. Those are the 5 senses, and those are some of the ways that you can incorporate them into your wedding day. It can be quite easy, but it also could be quite difficult as well if you wanted to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah, if you have any questions on this topic, then I did write a blog about it, so that's on my website, and also I'm happy to answer any questions anytime as well. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for watching this video, and there'll be another one next week.